Hi everyone, Sunstormpax here and welcome to the new review. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the most requested videos I've ever had on the channel. So, I know it's been a long time coming, but let's get right into the review for Transformers Titans Return Deluxe Class Triggerhappy. Triggerhappy transforms into a Cybertronian space jet, which bears a striking resemblance to a Star Wars X-Fighter. Does anyone else see that? I mean, okay, it doesn't have the X-Wings, but otherwise, I don't know. I think it looks pretty similar. Well, whether you see it or not, something you probably can't deny is this thing looks awesome. Like, just amazing. I mean, I can try and describe it as much as I want, with the beautiful, sleek cockpit, the cool wings, and the guns protruding from them, and, well, do I really need to? I mean, you can see it yourself. It looks really, really good from just pretty much every angle. Do I really need to say more? It's just beautiful. I mean, sure, you can kind of see some of the leg out the back, but otherwise, I just think this is one of the cleanest jet modes I've ever seen. It's just brilliant. But in case that wasn't enough for you, they even went and included landing gear. Wow, I was really impressed by that. I was not expecting that at all. Unfortunately, it's not the best landing gear in the world in that it actually comes down a little bit too far, so that when it's out, it makes the jet mode quite unstable, but it's there, and it really surprised me, what can I say? On top of that, they even gave it another cool feature, that being an opening cockpit, with its own driver. Say hello to Blowpipe, everyone. So, Blowpipe. Back in the days of 87, he was Triggerhappy's target master, but since then he's been demoted to the role of headmaster because he can shoot straight. But since then, Siege came in and he was re-released as an actual target master, so you can get that instead. Although it will mean having two Blowpipes around, seeing as this guy's will always be the head, and yeah, that's weird. But anyway, this Blowpipe. He's a standard Titan Master, and I already viewed Chasm in my Quake review, so do I need to go over him really? Blue and white, face on the back, otherwise no paint. He's got standard Titan Master articulation, and here he is for scale next to Chasm, who, wow, his leg joints have gotten so much looser since he cannot stand up at all anymore. So away with it! Anyways, Blowpipe can sit in the cockpit and act as pilot, but also there are a couple of ports just behind it, so you can put some mechanics on top. That's awesome.
Oh no!
Now in terms of accessories, Triggerhappy comes with a pair of double-barrel space guns, which can form a quadruple-barrel space gun, which is apparently based on the original Blowpipe gun. I mean, look at it. It's even got little feeties. Adorable. So you can put Blowpipe in it, but it's a bit weird because he doesn't really have anywhere to actually sit, so he's kind of just perched there. But also even weirder, there's no peg at the bottom of it, nor is there really a suitable place to put it onto Triggerhappy, which I kind of thought was the point, so you kind of got to rely on the ports on the sides of the guns, which all you can really get is this. Amazing. For size comparison, here he is next to Titans Return Rumble, next to Siege Spinister, a double target master, next to Titans Return Overlord, both halves of him, next to Studio Series Jet Mode Shatter, and finally next to my only other proper target master, Siege Crosshairs. And with that, I think we're just about done with the jet mode, so let's get into the transformation. And there we have Triggerhappy transform. Sorry. Hang on a second. There we go. And so that complex but ingenious transformation that manages to be extremely smooth, easy, and fun to do, we're left with this absolute stunner of a robot mode. I mean, just look at it. It looks brilliant from every angle. I mean, take a look at it. Every angle. Find me a single angle that looks bad. Yep, didn't think you could. 'Cause he looks brilliant. So starting off with the head, they've gone with a red ninja face with yellow eyes, which works really well for him. I'm so glad they went for this, although having looked up the character, it does seem a bit strange. I mean, Triggerhappy is apparently so crazed about his gun that he does very little other than shoot and drool. Can you see the problem here? How does he drool without a mouth? The torso looks great too. It's got some really nice paint applications, and they've got a really nice effect where it gets narrower towards the bottom due to some really cool transformation tricks. They've also emulated the nose of the jet mode in it, although unfortunately the actual jet mode is on his back. Now someone could call it kibble, but it actually works quite well and it doesn't get in the way of anything, so I'm willing to forgive it. Plus, if you don't like false parts, you can actually change his arms around, swap his head around, and there you go, G1 mode. If you want to do this though, I don't. The arms in question have a pair of large golden exhausts on the top of the shoulders, which he can probably use to catch the rain, but he also has both of the jet's giant cannons mounted on each forearm, which is actually really cool. It's a really unique look to him, but also it really bulks him out in terms of width on a shelf. It's surprisingly cool. He does also have a pair of wings hanging off the back of his arms, but look, if I can forgive the cockpit hanging off the back, I can forgive these. Same goes for the little mini wings on the knees, but these actually look really cool and help with a certain type of pose. So yeah, these are welcome. So yeah, Triggerhappy is a really good looking bot, but it doesn't stop there. Let's cover the articulation, shall we? Head is on a ball joint which allows for a 360-degree spin and a tiny bit of up, down and side. Arms are on a swivel joint so it can rotate 360 degrees and can move out. There is a bicep swivel, however it's obstructed by the giant guns and the wings hanging off the back of the arms, so it can only get you about a quarter turn. 90-degree elbows and no wrist swivel. So up to this point the articulation has been pretty standard and even a little bit underwhelming, but now we get to the lower torso and things really pick up. First off, 360 degrees at the waist. Legs can move all the way forwards and backwards and can do the full splits. There's a full thigh swivel and a full knee bend. But then we get to the very best part, the feet. These can move all the way forwards, all the way back, and have an amazing heel, which makes him really stable and allows for so many poses. But before we get to that, let's just take a quick look at the accessories. And of course, being the trigger-happy character that he is, he comes with a pair of guns, which look fine from one side, but due to the combining nature of them, look really hollow from the other side, so gotta be careful with that. Of course, you can combine them to form the giant gun, but considering you can only hold it from the side, it really looks dumb. So you're better off just dual wielding. But there is an alternative. If you don't like these guns, then all you have to do is flip down the big ones on his arms and booyah! This is just so silly and hardcore and I just love it. And of course someone called Triggerhappy would have arms that transform into guns. But even that wasn't enough for you. There is yet one more alternative, because even though he came out well before Siege, he does have a couple of combat ports on his arms, which means you can totally weaponize him up. So far this video has been pretty much nothing but compliments from me, and it's all well deserved because this is an amazing figure. He's pretty much a masterpiece of a figure, but you know what? We haven't even gotten to my favourite thing about him, and that's the poseability, because due to the design of the heels, the feet, the legs, all of that, he's so poseable. He can get so many poses out of him that many figures can't. I mean, look at this kneeling pose here. A lot of figures can't do a kneeling pose. This guy can. Partly due to the winglets on his legs, but still counts. And there's so many fun poses you can do with this gun, which works so well for the character. And I mean, of course you can do the standard Iron Man pose, but it's amazing. I mean, you get so much range from the feet. Look at this pose he can get with his feet. How many other figures can he do that? Not many. And there is so much balancing stuff that you can do with this figure. I get so much fun just trying to see how far his balance goes, because even though his feet are so narrow, they work so well. I mean, just look at all these. It's just so fun, and it's what makes me love this figure so much. The rest of it is really helps as well, but this is my favourite thing about it, and this honestly elevates it above every other Titans Return figure I have. And Titans Return is a great line. It was a great line. I have many figures from it and I love them all, but this is probably my favourite. He's just that good. He's just brilliant. For size comparison, here he is next to Titans Legends Rumble, Siege Deluxe Wheeljack, Siege Deluxe Spinister, Siege Deluxe Crosshairs, Siege Voyager Megatron, Siege Leader Magnus, Studios Series Jet Mode Shatter, and for the fun of it, all my other Titans Return figures. We got the group shot. So there is my review for Titans Return Triggerhappy, and look, it's a superb toy. It is absolutely amazing. If I can find anything to critique about it, is that maybe the bicep swivel isn't the best and the guns can be a bit weird, but that's literally it. Otherwise, he's pretty much perfect. He's truly one of the best that Titans Return has to offer, and it is amazing. I can see now why so many see this as Titans Return's best, and it's actually made Triggerhappy that much more popular. He seems to have a cult following now, which he didn't appear to before this. And it's just so cool and well deserved because this is truly an amazing toy. And I am so glad to have found it. And even better, I managed to get this half price. Go me. So thank you very much everyone for chiming into this stop motion review to Titans Return Triggerhappy. It's been a blast. So, who gets reviewed next? You guys know the drill by now. Just choose any one of these 10 characters, and most popular will get the next review. So what do you guys think of Triggerhappy? Do you like his toy? And if you don't have him, do you think you'll get him? Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.